Hey guys, hey, welcome back to the channel. Now here is a breakdown of income and costs for 1 week delivering with Deliver Easy. No particular week, meaning there was nothing special on in New Plymouth. It was just a middle of the winter week. And it was a shift 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. 4-hour shift, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And predominantly I would log on anywhere between 3:30 and 4, and I'd be logging off anywhere between 8 and 8:30. Now, so you could take that as a 5-hour shift, or I was booked to drive for 4 hours, so we'll just run it on a 4-hour shift. So I've done a bit of tallying and working out and crossing figures and dotting my T's and crossing my I's and all of that sort of stuff. So Monday was 123.85 for the 4 hours. I travelled 92.9 kilometres, and the onboard computer said that I burnt 23.4 kilometres a litre. So I used 3.97 litres, and I've worked out this on an average of $2.69 a litre. Obviously you guys might have a better discount rate, or those discount vouchers from the supermarkets, but this is just on an average price. So that day cost me $10.98 in fuel, so taking home $113.17. Now this may sound a bit boring, I'm going through every day, but we'll get to the totals at the end. Tuesday, $90.88, 76.4 kilometres, and that was a burn rate of 23.8 kilometres a litre, 3.21 litres, cost me $8.64, took home $82.24. Wednesday, $99.88, travelled 93.7 kilometres at a burn rate of 25.5 kilometres a litre. So I used 3.61 litres, costing $9.87, taking home $90.01. Thursday, $73.91. I travelled 70.4 kilometres, burn rate of 23.6 kilometres a litre. So I used 2.98 litres, costing $8.02, taking home $71.22. Friday, $115.86. I did 122.9 kilometres, burn rate of 25.1 kilometres. So I used 4.9 litres, costing $13.18, taking home $102.68. That's a lot of information. So let's just take out our fuel cost. Total profit, $459.32. Let's divide that by 20 hours, saying that it's a 4-hour shift for 5 days, was $22.97 an hour. Remember, we are contractors, so we're not bound by minimum hourly rates. So my total kilometres for the week, this is where it gets uncanny, and it's been predominantly the same every week, whether it's Uber X or Deliver Easy. Total kilometres, 456.3 kilometres. Profit was $459. So it almost works out to be whatever kilometres you travel is about the money that you're making. I don't know how, because there's a lot of travelling that you're not getting paid for, like going to your pickup from your drop off, so you're not paid for that. And that's the same with Uber X. You're not paid that dead time that you're going to pick somebody up, or you're going to your wait spot. You're not paid for that, but it works out around very close to the kilometres you travel is the dollar value that you make, unless of course you're just going to roam around aimlessly and burn up fuel. But if you wanted to take costs a little bit deeper, I worked out tyres for this particular week, tyre wear. I worked out $200 a tyre. Obviously you can go cheaper, you can go more expensive, but $200 is probably a good price of tyres, times 4, because you know I'm in a car, it's got 4 wheels, doesn't have a spare, believe it or not. And I just worked out roughly that you're going to get, you know, no, it's not a ride, was it 30,000 Ks or whatever. I just worked out roughly how many Ks would get per tyre, and that works out to be 3 cents a kilometre to on tyre wear. Obviously if you get a puncture, that blows that figure way out. So we've done 456.3 kilometres, costing us $13.69 in tyres. Ain't that bad, is it? Service. So I've just spoken to a service company, and the price on a service for this car here is $355. That includes a electronic health check and oil and filter. So that works out, believe it or not, to be 3 cents a kilometre. So $13.69 goes into servicing. So we took home, I didn't work this out, but $4.59 and 32 cents after fuel. If we were to put away money for servicing and tyres, we'd be putting away another $28 roughly.
Head to your
and I got to get back to you. Alrighty, so where was I? That ride's done and dusted. It was an interesting ride. It was a good distance. Try to get my tablet. Going off track just while I open this up. They were asking if I'd come back to there to pick them up for just a 5-minute ride down the road, and I'm like, yeah, why? She was like, in Perth, no Uber accepts a ride under 5 minutes. So I don't know, I'd take every ride. Because if I go all the way out there, do a 5-minute ride, I might get a ride out there. So yeah, no point in sitting here declining in rides. But anywho, where was I? So yeah, 3 cents for tyres and about 3 cents a kilometre for servicing. Yeah, so that's quite uncanny. So there's 6 cents basically in maintenance a kilometre. Obviously this was New Plymouth. Other regions you're going to be busier, in other regions you'll be quieter, and it's a supply and demand. Like I said, it wasn't a particular week that had heaps of people in town. It was just an average middle of winter week. So yeah, that's real income details. It's not, there's no lies in that. Brakes down to $22.97 an hour. A lot of dead time. If you're driving around thinking that I'm not making much an hour, you're in the wrong profession. Sorry, this is not a per hour gig, this is per delivery gig. If you're gonna decide to roam around and look, sightsee in your vehicle while you're waiting for orders, it's not a gig for you either, because you're just burning up profits. Unless you have a massive slush fund that you aren't worried about it and you're just doing it as a hobby. Yeah, well, that's basically that one done and dusted. I think I covered everything. So it's not too far off there. You know, they say upwards of $35 an hour. Surely there was a couple of probably hour stints in there that I was earning up around that. There was probably some that I was earning none as well. So it's a hit and miss. But if it's something that you're looking at getting into, here's some real life figures. No secret to me, I'm not going to hide anything from you. The only thing I'm not going to give you is the delivery information. That there is my information. So anyway, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm going to try to do a couple of videos a week. on information, tips. I don't know, tips on. I'm still new at it. Tips will probably change as I progress, you know, blah blah blah. Anywho, I'm just going to sit here and wait for my next ride and think of my next video. So until next time, thumbs up, subscribe, ka kite.